time lost meaning. Alara stopped fighting, living alongside the unseen guest. She accepted her fate, her grief becoming part of the house's history. The house had won, or so it seemed. Then, one day, the front door stood wide open, sunlight beckoning, freedom beckoning. The world outside called, but Alara hesitated. The house was giving her a choice: stay in the comfort of shared sorrow, or face the world alone. The ending is ambiguous. We see her silhouette in the doorway, unmoving. Does she leave, or does she stay? The house is not just a place, but a state of being. Leaving means confronting grief alone. Staying means accepting it as her identity. The story ends with debate. What did she choose? The scariest thing isn't the haunted house, but the world outside it. The film ends, but the conversation begins. The house and Alara's story linger in the minds of all who enter. Alara tried to leave, packing a bag and heading for the door. But every exit led her back inside hallway, attic, kitchen, always within the house. The house became a labyrinth, a prison that defied logic. Defeated, she slumped to the floor as the teacup clinked and lavender filled the air. The ghost was with her, offering a silent invitation: give up, stay, grieve forever. The true horror was the temptation to surrender. For Alara, the idea of ceasing to fight was seductive. The house wasn't a monster, but a manifestation of her depression. The real battle was against the voice urging her to let go. The house offered eternal, shared misery, a twisted sanctuary. Alara faced a choice: fight for herself or become another echo in the house. The walls closed in waiting for her answer. The house began to consume Alara's joyful memories. Daniel's photo changed again, his smile gone, replaced by a frown. The memory of happiness faded, replaced by the house's melancholy. Alara wrote down her memories, desperate to anchor them. But the words felt hollow, the emotions gone. The house drained the color from her past, leaving only gray sorrow. The horror was no longer in the night, but in the erasure of her soul. She doubted everything: her love, her marriage, her own mind. The house planted insidious thoughts, twisting her memories into pain. It wasn't trying to kill her body, but her spirit. Alara realized she had to escape, not from a ghost, but from the version of herself the house was creating. The true terror was losing her identity to the house's endless grief. The presence merged with Alara's grief. The house became a mirror. The sad woman in the mirror began to look like Alara herself. Whispers sounded like her own thoughts, her sorrow over Daniel's death. The house externalized her pain, making it tangible. One night, overwhelmed by grief, Alara wept and felt a gentle, comforting touch. She saw the woman kneeling beside her, face full of empathy. The ghost wasn't there to scare, but to comfort, a fellow mourner. The house forced Alara to confront her grief, blurring the line between her and the ghost. Was she comforting the ghost, or was the ghost comforting her? In the house, their sorrows became one. Alara fought back. She bought a recorder to capture the whispers, to prove she wasn't losing her mind overnight. She recorded only the hum, until a teacup clinked, a woman's sigh echoed. The presence wasn't hostile. It was domestic haunting in its normalcy. Lavender scents, open books, a sense of sharing space with an unseen roommate. The lack of aggression was unsettling. What do you do with a ghost that just wants to live? The house was haunted by a concept, a life that refused to end. The woman in the mirror, the sigh, the lavender fragments of someone who loved the house too much to leave. Alara realized she was the intruder, the ghost in someone else's home. Her fear shifted to empathy, a profound sadness for the presence. She couldn't see the story subverts expectations. It's not about exorcising a demon, but understanding. At tragedy clues, faded names, hidden letters invite the audience to piece together the ghost story. The narrative becomes a puzzle, a collaborative investigation. Fans debate the ghost's identity, searching for meaning in every detail. The ambiguity drives conversation and repeat viewings. Alara's journey is no longer just survival, but about connection. The house collects stories, not just souls. Each echo is a life, a memory, a tragedy waiting to be understood. The horror is in the questions left unanswered. Alara is both haunted and haunting. The house's true power is its ability to make you question who the real ghost is. The sounds changed, creaks and groans gave way to whispers always just out of reach. Alara would hear them while painting. A hiss from the corner, vanishing when she turned. The torment was subtle, fraying her nerves. The house was learning her fears, speaking her language. Shadows flickered at the edge of her vision. In the bathroom mirror, a pale, sad woman appeared behind her, gone in a blink. Was she hallucinating? Or was the house showing her something? The house began to play with her memories. Daniel's photo on the mantelpiece changed, his eyes now empty, sad. She questioned her own recollection. Had she remembered it wrong? Or had the house changed it? The violation was intimate. The house was inside her head, rewriting her past. It tainted her most precious memories with sorrow. The house was no longer just in the walls. It was in her mind, desecrating what she held dear. Alara's reality was unraveling, thread by thread. The house's whispers grew louder, feeding on her uncertainty. She was losing herself to the house's story. The house did not loom or glower. It simply sat, ordinary, unremarkable, hiding in plain sight. The black wood house was a patient predator wearing a mask of suburban normalcy. Peeling paint, an overgrown lawn, and a silence that felt almost sentient. Beneath its veneer, it was a place of ancient hunger, feeding on echoes and memories. It waited for someone broken, someone like Alara. She bought the house cheap, the realtor eager to forget the past. The previous owners had vanished, leaving everything behind. Furniture draped in sheets, sunlight struggling through grime, dust swirling in the air. Alara saw a blank canvas, a place to rebuild after grief. She didn't notice the cold spots or the way the silence pressed in. The house was listening, waiting for her to unpack her sorrow. Her first night was quiet, deceptively so. Sleeping on the floor, she heard a floorboard creak above her. Just the house settling, she told herself. But the sound had a rhythm, like footsteps pacing in the attic. She pulled her sleeping bag tighter, heart pounding. The next morning, sunlight erased the fear, and she convinced herself it was nothing. But the house pushed back. Boxes moved, doors ajar, small things out of place. Seeds of doubt were planted, making her question her own sanity. The house was clever, a master of psychological erosion. Alara had no idea she was already being devoured. But what if the house is watching you now? Every creak in your own home, every shadow in the corner. Could it be something more? Rewatch and listen closely. Did you notice the details hidden in the silence? The story is never truly over.